Aren't you also tired of the same old generic advice around confidence? You know the type, just get a gym membership, then you'll be confident. Sure, it sounds good on the surface, but whether you become drop dead gorgeous, built like a Greek god, or possess a genius level intellect, none of these achievements will automatically transform you into a confident person. You can have all of these things and still be insecure. So I don't care who you are, what you own, and what you look like. This video is meant for those who never want to feel unconfident ever again, no matter the situation and without faking it. I want to start by telling you some reasons why becoming confident is so important. You see, once you become confident, you have such strong self belief that you literally can do whatever you want. You can do anything. Okay. If you want to make more money, then confidence is going to help you with that. Confident people are admired and they're respected. They appear more attractive, and people generally enjoy the company of a person with real confidence. If you're someone that feels anxiety and fear, then when you become confident, you will notice that you have far fewer instances of those fears and anxieties. And if that's not compelling enough, then consider this. You can be confident and still be your authentic self all the time. There's no need to pretend or fake confidence to fit in. It's about embracing who you truly are and owning it with genuine confidence. That's what real confidence is. As I touched on earlier, real confidence is not bought, it is built. I can assure you that even when you get accepted by the hot girl, you buy a new car, an expensive watch, whatever, none of those things will bring you the unshakable confidence that you're looking for. Okay? Let me tell you why. And when you realize, you're going to be like, aha, you know them ones. Okay, listen. So you have a voice in your head. We all do. This voice is not you, but it's a part of you. Okay? You can't escape it, and it's always going to be there. Okay? So unless you can get this voice to start believing in you, it can completely take control over your life. It can control how you do everything. Okay? But don't panic. From now on, let's start showing ourselves exactly what we are capable of. And we're going to do this every day through our actions. Okay? There's no beating around the bush. You're going to have to start showing up for yourself. We're going to be taking small steps in alignment with our goals, and slowly but surely, that will make that inner voice basically shut up. And it won't be in a show off kind of way, but in a confident way. Like, there's nothing anyone can tell me that I don't already know about myself. I know what I'm capable of, and nobody can take this away from me. At first, I didn't know what my goals were. So they weren't very clear to me. Okay. So what I did was I wrote down a list on my phone, and I realized that if I just took a moment to assess my goals and my daily habits, I could quickly pinpoint the ones that needed to go. It's a lot easier to cut habits than it is to adopt new ones. So that's where I started. But then when I did this, I noticed that I stopped getting these immediate rushes of gratification that I used to have. But deep down, I knew that it was good for me. And that's how you can begin rebuilding the respect that you have for yourself. And here's an extra piece of advice. That anxiety you feel at the beginning, it begins to fade away faster than you'd think. Once you've tackled it a few times, it just vanishes. At least that's been my experience and the experience of a lot of my friends. So about 2 years ago, I would stay up till like 2 a.m. watching TikToks on my phone. And then I would set like 10 alarms to wake up the next morning. And after rolling out of bed around the seventh or eighth alarm, I was absolutely exhausted. I would skip my skincare routine, quickly go to the bathroom, brush my teeth. And while I was brushing my teeth with my other hand, I would just be canceling all of the alarms that hadn't gone off yet. And then I would grab a coffee and a pastry on the way to work. Then throughout the day, I would snack on these waffles at the vending machine. They were packed full of sugar, really unhealthy for me. And I found it really difficult to stick to any kind of routine. And my excuse was, it's fine, I'm young. But one day I decided I've had enough. I'd really had enough. I realized that in order to feel confident and happy in myself, I needed to take some responsibility for my choices and prioritize my well-being. So I started small by setting achievable goals for myself. For me, that was waking up without hitting snooze and, well, having a healthy breakfast routine. As I continued to prioritize my health and well-being, I found that self-discipline wasn't about depriving myself of pleasure, but rather about honoring the promises I made to myself and investing in my self-care. So what does your life look like? What do you think about yourself? You say you lack discipline, you never read a book, you never leave the house, you have no backbone when it comes to what you eat and put in your body. You struggle to say no to things. You eat fast food. You never do anything that really makes you feel uncomfortable. And then you complain about not being confident. To be confident, you need to develop a relationship with yourself, where if you make a promise to yourself, you stick to that promise. It's waking up when that alarm goes off and not hitting snooze. It's going to bed when it's time to go to bed. It's doing your morning and evening skincare routines. It's sticking to your diet. It's not eating junk food. It's saying no to things that you don't want to do. It's showing up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. I like to look at it like this. What you are today is the accumulation of what you did. So I don't earn the income I earn today because of the work I complete today. No, I earn the income today because of the work I did leading up to today. So the same applies for your body. I don't have a nice body today because of what I did at the gym today. I have a nice body today because of what I did leading up to today. So the reason that a lot of us feel so unconfident is that every time we tell ourselves that we're going to do something, we make a promise to ourselves and then we just don't follow through with it. A lot of you admire people like David Goggins, and why do you think that is? It's because David Goggins, he shows up for himself. When he says that he will do something, even if it's just to himself, he gets up and he does it, regardless of how he feels. He has confidence because every time his inner voice tries to tell him, you can't do this, you can't do this, you're not built for this, right? He will go and he will do it. He'll prove that voice wrong. That's how you start developing the right kind of relationship with yourself. To be confident, you need to develop a relationship with yourself. I'm going to say it again, where if you make a promise to yourself, you stick to that promise. It's a commitment you make to yourself and shows that you take yourself seriously. And not only will people respect you more, but you will also respect yourself more, giving you this deep confidence within yourself. So if you want to become confident, it is never too late to start showing yourself and that inner voice why you should be confident. You do this with self-care, self-love, and a whole lot of patience. Start treating yourself like you matter. In alignment with your goals, okay, start prioritizing your needs and acknowledge your worth along the way. My father used to say, son, you know you come first, right? Right after me. He was so right. So embrace the things that make you unique. Celebrate your victories and learn to forgive yourself for your imperfections. Confidence isn't built in a day, but with each act of kindness towards yourself, you lay another brick in the foundation of building that self-assurance. So go ahead and take that first step towards believing in yourself. Now, if you do decide to start going to the gym, then I'm completely with you, okay? That is amazing. But let's say you start going to this new gym. But then you go from never going to instantly pushing yourself to go 5 days a week. You need to understand that that is unsustainable. Try walking before running. Try to do things little by little and just begin by showing up. Once your body gets used to doing something, it will start getting comfortable with doing that thing. So once you start feeling that comfortability, that should indicate you to go a step further. But remember, small steps every day. That's the hack. The start might not be so glamorous, but it's not the beginning that sticks in people's minds. It's how you finish that truly resonates and leaves a lasting impression. So remember to stay in the unknown and uncomfortable. If you feel paralyzed, scared to speak, scared of taking action, and you avoid social situations because you feel like you're being judged all the time, it probably stems from some past trauma. This fear of judgment can be deeply rooted in experiences where you might have felt criticized or ridiculed or invalidated in the past. Maybe you had some judgmental parents or a teacher, a friend, or a girlfriend. But the truth is that 99% of people just don't care enough about you to judge. You are not that important. People don't think about you as much as you think about yourself. They have themselves to think about. So being self-conscious with the way that you speak or you act or stand or dress, these are all things that are self-inflicted torture. Most people don't care. And the ones that do will probably forget after a day. Okay, so you might be wondering, how is it possible to be confident all the time? Much of the advice I got when I was younger was to just fake being confident. So I tried it and I thought it was working for a while. But the truth is that whenever I was put in situations where I felt I actually needed it, it would be impossible to fake. Like when I had to present something at work, my throat would start to tighten up, my voice would crack, and that was it. That was all it took. That was all it took for the voice in my head to just be triggered to start telling me things like, you see, you can't do this. You're not good enough. You're making a fool of yourself. Why did you stay up so late? Look at you. Everyone else is smarter than you. So the problem of faking confidence is that it's like placing this little band-aid over a big open wound that you know requires more attention and even stitching. You see, to be truly confident, you need to be able to accept who you are today. You need to be able to accept your strengths, your weaknesses, everything. You are not perfect, and you will never be perfect. You can't be perfect for everyone, okay? So stop trying to be something that you can never attain. Perfection doesn't exist. Instead, just try to become the best version that you can become. You need to decide to be proud of who you are today. And even though you are creating the next 2.0 version of yourself, you should appreciate who you are and how much you have grown. That's how you build confidence that will last a lifetime. And you know something else? It plays a huge role in knowing your strengths and what makes you valuable. When you know yourself, you are confident in your abilities. And no matter what the outside world says, you still have belief in yourself and what you can achieve. You don't require the external validation from anyone to tell you, who you are or if you are valuable or not. That's why I recommend for you to get really good at something. I chose weightlifting as I wanted to choose something that I would continue doing for a long period of time, but you don't have to choose something like that. But choosing something that you are passionate about is the most important thing. If you are finding value in this video, then I would encourage you to subscribe. I'm dedicated to sharing more content that empowers men to unlock their full potential. And your support really means a lot to me and helps fuel this journey of growth and self improvement together. If you're on a date and you feel nervous, maybe instead of being so focused on whether they like you, if you look good enough, or if you're acting right, turn the focus away from you and onto them. Are they worthy of your time and attention? Do you share the same values as this person? Are we aligned in our goals? And is this person worth my time? Turning the focus onto them makes them have to now meet your standards, right? So now you know your worth and you know what you deserve. You shouldn't be waiting for the validation to come from the outside world to affirm your worth and value. You should recognize your own inherent worthiness and value. When you truly believe in yourself, you carry yourself differently, and people are going to notice. If someone praises you, no reaction. If someone says something bad about you, no reaction. That's because you know who you are and you know what you're capable of. So if you think that one day you will just wake up and be confident, you won't. You will only become confident after days, weeks, and months of continuous commitment to showing up for yourself and following through with the promises that you made to yourself. This builds the kind of unshakable confidence that nobody can take away from you. Thank you guys so much for your continuous support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.